Gaham mo?
Wala ning gawa sa man ba? Okay ra siya mga dili mo. Kanang kasuban.
Ay, dili. Nadito mo kulig
Sa
sa notes na part sa baba.
lagi kaya dire. Kanira na click.
Awa tidak, ya mo.
Kanay na page na. Kana ako dito tawag din.
Tawag lang ka. Ya bangga man do traction natin so. Ate so. So trial. Wala pa ma. Pagilan yan ro kundan.
Sabi ko nang gagi, melit ako, 7:30 ko.
Dito. Pinitos ka niyan sa
Kaya di sila ko. May
Yolo Pujo Bampere. Paxoleti.
Bisa ang cancer,
No. Hello, okay na? Live na ni? Sige. Live na daw ah. Dito sa mga segment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone, and to our televiewers and our YouTube account, DPWH Second DEO. This morning, we will be conducting pre-bid conference for the following contract ID numbers: 24KF0056 and 24KF0059. But before we formally start this pre-bid conference, may we have a silent prayer, after which is the roll call of attendance by the Acting Procurement Head Engineer, Mima Sambitore. Good morning, everyone, to our televiewers. For the attendees of this pre-bid conference, from the back members, the Chief of Administrative Section, back Chairperson, Ma'am Naima Tusbari, present. The Chief of Construction Section, back Vice Chairman, Sir Marlon Lokman,
present.
The Chief of Quality Assurance Section, back regular members, Sir Aminuddin Pasabi. The Assistant Chief of Construction Section, BAC Provisional Member, Sir Waida Pacaro.
Present.
Yours truly, Hamima Sambitori, who is the Head Procurement Staff. Present. The Head of BAC DPWH, Joanny Mamainti.
Present.
Lorjihan Macabando, Member BAC DPWH.
Present.
Nashiba Makarumbon, Member BAC Secretariat.
Present.
Nor Hanida Mamusaka, Member BAC Secretariat. Elizabeth Banyasia, Member BAC Secretariat.
Present.
And Anwira Jamil, Member BAC Secretariat.
Present.
And we have no attendees from the participating leaders and observers. And that's all for the attendees. Thank you.
Thank you. This pre-bid conference is conducted pursuant to RA 9184 under its section 22.3, which requires the procuring entity to conduct pre-bid conference mainly to discuss, clarify, and explain about eligibility requirement, technical component, financial component of the contract to be bid. Among others, it includes also the discussion of activities in the awarding of contracts once the project is bid. Importantly, this is the right time for questions and clarifications from the prospective bidders before the conduct of the opening of bids. Since the BAC members are in quorum, we may now start to discuss the following: contract data, technical and financial proposals, eligibility requirements, and awarding of contract.
Good morning. For the first contract, 24K0056, Basic Infrastructure Program, Multi-Purpose Building, Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multi-Purpose Building in Barangay Abaga, Nunungan, Lanao del Norte. Scope of works, facilities for the engineers, other general requirements, civil, mechanical, electrical, and sanitary planning works, finishing and other works, and electrical works. With an approved budget for the contract of 9,899,137 pesos and 3 cents. With a contract duration of 154 calendar days, and the cost of bidding document is 10,000. Next project, 24K0059, Basic Infrastructure Program, Multi-Purpose Building, Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multi-Purpose Building, Barangay Inudaran 2, Sapad, Lanao del Norte. Scope of works, facilities for the engineers, other general requirements, civil, mechanical, electrical, and sanitary plumbing works, finishing and other works, and electrical works. With an approved budget for the contract of 9,891,018 pesos and 39 cents, with a contract duration of 151 calendar days, and the cost of bidding document is 10,000. That's all for the contract.
Good morning. For the components of technical and financial proposal, bids are submitted simultaneously in two separate envelopes. The first envelope shall contain the technical bid component, including the eligibility documents, the technical requirements, and if any, class B documents. On the other hand, the second envelope shall contain the financial bid component. Just a reminder, kindly provide at least 2 copies of your proposal, the original copy and copy 1. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically. Naka-flash po sa screen ang link kung gusto nyo pong i-pursue ang online submission. This is our checklist as of October 2021. For the legal documents, attach the valid field use registration certificate or the SEC, PTI, or CDA, the Mayor's Services Permit, tax clearance per EO 398 series of 2005. Civil Works Application or CWA, formerly Civil Works Registry, refers to a software application to register contractors' information and to determine the eligibility of contractors for civil works projects. If not enrolled in CWA, attach the Class A and Class B documents not covered by the field trip certificate. For the Class A documents, we have the Statement of Ongoing Government and Private Contracts, including contract awarded but not yet started, SLCC, PCAB license, and bid security or notarized bid securing declaration. For Class B documents, we have for joint venture, attach the valid joint venture agreement, registration for the type and contract to be bid, and the special PCAB license itself. If enrolled in CWA, Class A and Class B documents, if any, are to be updated. For the form of bid security, we have cash or cashier's manager's check, which have an amount of 2% of the ABC, the bank guaranteed draft or irrevocable LC, which also have 2% of the ABC, surety bond, callable upon demand, 5% of the ABC, and bid securing declaration, no percentage required. For project requirements, attach the organizational chart, the list of contractors' key personnel, the list of contractors' equipment, whether owned or leased, with proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the lessor for the duration of the project, and the revised omnibus sworn statement. For financial documents, attach the audited financial statements showing, among others, the total and current assets and liabilities duly stamped received by the BIR for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission, and the computed NFCC. For financial component of bid, attach the revised bid form, the summary of bid prices and bill of quantities, detailed estimates, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, the labor rates, and equipment rental use coming up with the bid, and cash flow by quarter. As for the criteria of eligibility processing, bid evaluation, and post-qualification, all procurement is done through competitive bidding except as provided in RA 9184 and its IRR. We are encouraging our bidders to follow this DEO 51 series of 2010, which required all contractors doing business in our department to be registered in the CWR system. Contractors kindly always monitor and update their documents. Expired CPA files will affect your eligibility results. Make it a habit to attach your updated Class A and Class B documents. SBAC assumes no responsibility for the contractor's lapses, for all formats needed are as always being provided. If happen you cannot access our two websites, the FieldJIPS and department website, you can always visit our office. As mentioned earlier, one of the components of the technical proposal is the FieldJIPS, which is a 3-page document. Be reminded, missing 1 or 2 of its pages will be automatically disqualified. Next, kindly attach your DTI certificate for sole proprietorship and SEC or CDA for corporation. Next, Mayor Services Permit, renewable every end of the year. Please do take note kung anong kind or line of business ang nilagay nila sa documents na to. Next is tax clearance, renewable every year. Next is the statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Kindly attach your CRC or contract, NOAA, and NTP to support this document. For SLCC, attach your CRC or contract, NOAA, NTP, COC, and certificate of final inspection to support these documents. Remember, SLCC should be greater than 50% of the ABC to be bid. Next is the PCAB, renewable every year, and it is not valid until your signature is affixed at the topmost right of this document. Kindly check the DMC 85 series of 2020 for the revised form of our bid securing declaration. It should be signed and notarized. Our district usually requires 6 to 8 personnel per project, depending on the project profile to be bid. mainly the PM, PE, ME, lab tech, foreman, safety officer, and/or survey engineer and quantity engineer. It is a requirement to affix the PIN of your PM, PE, and ME on the individual affidavit of personnel and to attach the updated PRC ID of your PE and the updated ME certificate for your ME. Make sure your ME only works for you if happen to be caught that he or she is working for the other firm, you will be automatically disqualified. Redundant personnel means disqualification. Moreover, list of key personnel shall be supported with a signed and notarized affidavit for each required personnel. Their individual affidavits shall contain the necessary data of personnel concerned and its log of experiences, especially for the PM, PE, and ME. Make sure that the information on both documents will coincide with each other. The list of equipment with proof of ownership, all required equipments to be pledged shall be mentioned in the list of equipment. Owned and leased equipments shall be categorized properly. Be mindful on the units required for each equipment. Always indicate the plate, the motor, body, and/or serial number of your pledged equipments, its location and condition. Kindly indicate properly the kind of ownership you have for each equipment, if it is owned with ORCR, leased, deed of sale, or official receipt. All proof of ownership attached shall be clear and readable. As per the required equipments for this project, kindly see our bid data sheet. We will emphasize again, if happen to lease an equipment, you are still required to attach the updated ORCR of the said equipment. Your lease equipment agreement shall be notarized and signed by the both lessor and lessee with at least 2 witnesses.
Good morning. For the continuation, kindly check DMC 85 series of 2020 for the revised omnibus sworn statement 1 to 10 na po, and ito po yung para sa sole proprietorship and for JB Corporation Partnership. Audited financial statement and the income tax return shall be duly signed and stamped by the BIR with signature and date. For NFCC should be greater than ABC to be bid. All new bidders are advised to visit the quality assurance section to secure the certificate issued by the district QA chief. As per DEO 11 series of 2012, considering that materials testing equipment are essential during construction stage of a project, it shall therefore be included in the technical requirement of the bid together with the other major equipment as contained in the technical envelope, which shall be subjected to preliminary examination and further verified during post-qua stage. Affidavit of site inspection. This is not part of the standard checklist. However, the district advised interested bidders to conduct the site inspection ahead of time to ensure the actual condition of the site. This is done not just to avoid problems on the project implementation, but also to give you and the district time to clarify all concern, and you are given not later than 7 calendar days before the opening of bid for your concern and clarification. And all clarification and revision will be posted either as bid bulletin or as supplemental or a notice. For the JV, all JV shall provide original special contractor license issued by PICAP. Nakastate na po yung name ng both parties. Joint venture special license agreement shall be supported with original joint venture agreement. It should be signed and notarized herein the names of both parties and shall be indicated including their percentage. Also both parties shall affix their signature in this agreement with at least 2 witnesses. Kailangan po original copy po. For the financial bid form, summary of bid price and BOQ, detailed estimate and cash flow by quarter. For the bid form, naka-revise na po yan as per DMC 85 series of 2020, and bids above ABC shall be automatically disqualified. For BOQ, avoid rounding off. quantities, failure to follow means disqualification. If there's a discrepancy between in words and in figures, in words po ang mag-prevail. And every item number, description, unit, and quantity cited in the bid document shall be followed. Summary of bid price shall be attached, and detailed cost estimate, avoid lump sum po. Then cash flow by quarter and payment schedule. All notarized documents should be filled up with updated community tax certificate of the proprietor, and all documents on the bid proposal should be clear and readable, especially on the technical envelope, and always affix initial on every page of your bid proposal, and observe tabbing and pagination on bid proposal, and use A4 size bond paper. The issuance of bid docs is ongoing until March 26 at 12 noon at procurement unit of this office, and opening of bids will be on 2 p.m. March 26, 2024 at the conference room of DP Lanao 2nd DEO. Late bids will not be accepted. 3-strike policy. As per DO 28 series of 2024, this policy is aimed at enforcing adherence to the procurement guidelines under RA 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits 3 offenses described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. Classification of offenses that triggers the 3-strike policy and exception. Number 1, withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. Number 2, submission of late bids without valid reason as determined by the BAC. And last is submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements during eligibility screening and or shortlisting. 1 is submission of expired PLGIPs or PLGIPs containing expired Class A legal and financial documents. Number 2 is failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, CV in the application for eligibility and shortlisting, which are evaluated during the shortlisting of CS project. During bid evaluation, failure to submit required bid forms, submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to non-inclusion or omission of mandatory provision and statement for the required bid form, submission of unnotarized bid securing declaration, unnotarized omnibus sworn statement, and unnotarized joint venture agreement or statement from all the potential joint venture partners with exception during the declaration of state of calamity or implementation of community quarantine or similar restriction declared or being implemented either in the local of the procuring entity or the bidder. Another one is submission of the bid form, price schedule, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Number 5 is nomination of key personnel or of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents, or in the case of CS, proposing a key personnel whose educational background is different from the required in the TOR. Another one is failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of pledge equipment, failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per DO 9 series of 2012, or in the case of CS project, failure to submit certification as required in the TOR. And the last one is failure to comply with the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment as stated in the bid docs. During post-qualification, participation in bidding for CS or goods and services by contract, services contracts by a bidder whose business type category as indicated in the mayor's permit does not match or unrelated to the contract being bid. And the second one is participation in bidding for infrastructure project by a bidder whose allowable range of contract costs as indicated on the PCAB license does not match with the specific requirements of the infra project being bid for, or in terms of category, classification, and size and ranges. That's all po. Thank you.
Before the awarding of contract, may we remind the bidders on the Department Order Number 115 Series of 2021 dated November 25, 2021, with subject enhancing the specific policy guidelines under the provision of DEO Series of 2012. The above mentioned DEO states that in order to compel the contractors to apply for the issuance of certificate of final acceptance after submitting the required warranty bonds, it is therefore directed that henceforth the following measures should be adopted by the DPWH implementing offices nationwide. Thus, non-submittal of warranty certificate should be a ground for the disqualification of contractors during the post-qualification process of their currently bid out projects. Second, projects without certificate of final acceptance should be reflected on the contractor's information profile. And third is during the procurement process, the contractor should be required to include authenticated copies of certificate of final acceptance of their completed projects prior to the issuance of the notice of award.
Awarding after determining the lowest calculated responsive bidder or the LCRB, the procuring entity shall issue an award to the said LCRB, and within 10 calendar days from receipt of the notice of award, the following documents shall be submitted by the winning bidder. First is the notice of award with the bidder signed conform. Next is for a joint venture, contractors, pickup license, GB license, and GB agreement. Next is performance security in any of the forms specified in the instructions to the bidders. Next is construction methods. Next, construction schedule in the form of Brgy PM diagram or precedence diagram and bar chart with S-curve and fast flow. Next is professional regulatory commission, PRC license number, and tax identification number, EIN of each key personnel. Next is manpower schedule, equipment utilization schedule, construction safety and health program, contractors all risk insurance or the carry, latest income tax and business returns duly stamped and received by BIR and duly validated with the tax payments made, tax clearance from the BIR to prove full and timely payment of taxes. Next is for a local contractor, certification under oath stating that the contractor is free and clean of all tax liabilities. And last is the anti-thief management plan. The performance security shall be in an amount not less than the required percentage of the total contract price in accordance with the following schedule. For the first, cash or cashier's manager's check issued by Universal or Commercial Bank, the amount of performance security for infrastructure project is 10%. Next, bank draft guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit issued by Universal or Commercial Bank, provided, however, that it shall be confirmed or authenticated by Universal or Commercial Bank if issued by a foreign bank. Also 10% for infrastructure project. And next is for security bond, Polakolakan demand issued by a security or insurance company, duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security 30%. The performance security shall remain valid until issuance by the procuring entity or the certificate of final acceptance. That's all for the award.
Thank you. Since all contract data, eligibility requirements, technical and financial components, including award, are all discussed, this pre-bid conference is now open for question and clarification from our bidders. Since we have no attendees from the bidders, may I request the Vice Chair for the adjournment of this pre-bid conference?
I move for the adjournment of this pre-bid conference. I second the motion.
So this pre-bid conference is hereby adjourned. Thank you.